It's been 3 years since we witnessed Alexander Volkanovski move up to lightweight to face Islam Makhachev at UFC 284 for the lightweight belt. Until this day, people still debate who won this fight. So I thought I'd break it down and rewatch it to see who actually won. So stay tuned to the end of the video where I give you my scorecards for the fight. But before I do break down this fight, I just want to say, upon rewatch, this is one of the greatest fights of all time. Definitely the most skilled fight of all time, with the pound-for-pound number one versus the pound-for-pound number two, both in their prime. And I absolutely loved watching it. It was kind of nostalgia watching prime Volk again. And it did feel like I was watching Star Wars Episode 3 when Anakin chopped off Mace Windu's hand. I was like hoping that the fight was actually going to go different. Anakin wasn't going to chop off Mace Windu's hand, and I was hoping Volkanovski was actually going to win this fight by decision. They were going to give it to him, but obviously, we know that doesn't happen. So it was a tough watch. I felt like it was Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, just banging on the window, just seeing Volk lose. But still an amazing fight. So I'll get into it. In round one, super close round. You knew after this round, this fight was going to be a banger. There was going to be nothing between these two fighters. So evenly matched on the feet. Volk stunned Islam early, stumbled him a bit. In another exchange, Islam was able to drop Volkanovski to his knee. And then at the end of the round, Islam was able to get the takedown, and this was going to be the major part of this fight. Was Volkanovski able to defend the takedowns? And if he did get taken down, was he strong enough to get back up? Because Islam is monstrous. He's so much bigger than Volk. He wasn't able to get up in this round, but he was clip farming a bit, so that was kind of cool. He kind of clip farmed when he did stun Islam talking to him. But after the first round, I was pretty confident it was 10-9 Islam, but a super close round. And then in the second round, it didn't get any easier to score. By far the closest round in this fight. I mean, just looking at the striking numbers. Volk dropped Islam. I mean, it wasn't a knockdown, but they went in for an exchange. Islam ended up on the ground, scrambled for a single leg and got it. And he took Volk down, and you're thinking, oh no, this could be another 4 minutes of control time for Islam. But as we know, Volkanovski got back up, and this was a massive moment in the fight. He showed that he was strong enough to get back up. He is good enough to get back up. And after seeing what Islam has done in his career to so many other fighters, what he did to Jack Della Maddalena at welterweight. JDM's a big welterweight, and he was just able to smother JDM for 25 minutes, and he couldn't hold down Alexander Volkanovski. I know he's not going to be as strong at 155 than he is at welterweight, but Volk's a little guy moving up, and he was strong enough to get up from a guy who's one of the strongest guys in the UFC pound for pound. So an amazing feat from Alexander Volkanovski to be able to do that. Islam rocked Volk late in that round. Volk was able to recover nicely and was able to get some nice control time at the end of the second round to make the second round an insanely close round to score. I would not want to be one of the judges. Now moving on to round 3. Another insanely close round. It's not easy for the judges in this one. I can understand why there was so much debate about who won this fight, because in round 3, another round that was definitely not definitive. Volk controlled the round a little bit more, landed some nice shots, and was able to stuff the takedowns a bit more. But just looking at the striking numbers again, there's nothing in this round. Very tough round to score. It's a nightmare for the judges. But finally, we get into round 4, where there's a definitive round for one of the fighters. Islam Makhachev clearly took round number 4. Volk was clip farming. He was talking to the coaches. He did some weird crawl when he did get taken down toward the coach. He stuck his tongue out. It was a little zesty. And, after seeing what Volk did to Diego Lopez when he had him in that position where he was sitting on his face, Volk's a little zesty. I'm just going to put it out there. But Volk was clip farming, and that led to him getting taken down pretty early in the round. He tried to scramble out of it, got to the fence, but Islam got the back and was just trying to work submission all round, just getting the control time. But Volk clip farming again from his back, but was landing some very hard punches. He did a lot of damage in this round. Obviously didn't win it because he had no control, but he was throwing those punches behind his head, and they were hurting Islam. They were doing a lot of damage. But it was a definitive round for Islam, and that brings us on to round 5, where Volkanovski put an absolute beat down on Islam in this round. A clear round for Volkanovski. Looking at the striking numbers, 8 strikes to 52. Dropped him, got the only knockdown of the fight. Put on an absolute heavy ground and pound to finish the fight. He loves that ground and pound. And I can see why so many people gave this fight to Volkanovski, because the first 3 rounds were super close. 4th round was clear for Islam. But then Volkanovski in round 5 just beat the shit out of Islam for 5 minutes of this fight. So an amazing finish for Volk, and that's honestly why I reckon so many people give this fight to Volk. So now how would I score this fight? I think there's 3 reasonable ways you could score this fight. I think the first way you could do it, which one judge did give it to him, was 49-46 for Islam, with Islam winning round 1 to 4. I think it's fair enough. All the rounds are super close in those first three. Round 4, obviously, Islam, and round 5, obviously, for Volk. Another reasonable way is 48-47 Islam, with him winning round 1, 2, and 4. I think that's very fair, and 2 judges gave that scorecard in the fight. And then the last way I think this fight could have been scored was 48-47 Volk, with him winning round 2, 3, and 5, which is also fair, I think. And I know you guys are probably thinking, I'm going to go with the last one, with Volk winning at 48-47, but upon watching, with round 2 being so close, this fight was decided in round 2. Whoever won this round was probably going to win the fight. The total strikes 30 each. Significant strikes 19 each. Islam got 1 takedown, but Volk was also able to defend the takedown. He had that control time late in that round. But upon the eye test, because you can't look at numbers to score this round, upon the eye test, I thought Islam won that round. So I think the way this fight should have been scored was a 48-47 for Islam. And it hurts to say it because it was so close that second round. You could give it to Volkanovski and he wins this fight. But I think I'm going to lean more towards Islam winning that second round, winning a 48-47, with him also winning round 1 and round 2. But just with the way Volk finished this fight, I can see why people do give this fight to Volk, because at the end he was just dominating Islam. But this was an amazing fight. I highly recommend you go rewatch this fight because it's an absolute blast watching it. The crowd is so electric. Volk's clip farm. He's talking to Islam. He's talking to his coaches. Islam, obviously, he's not saying a word, just being professional in his moment. He's so efficient with his striking. Like, what did he land? He landed 70% of his total strikes. Landed 4 takedowns. Like, it's just, there's nothing in this fight. Like, most of Volk's strikes came in round 5, but before that, the striking numbers were pretty much dead even. So, an insanely close fight. One of the greatest fights I've ever seen. I had so much enjoyment watching it. Super high skilled. I don't think that any fight could ever top this fight in skill. Not even Ilya versus Islam. So, yeah, after watching this fight, an amazing fight, and it does pain me to say it, but I think they did get it right with 48-47 for Islam Makhachev, but it does hurt to say it. But if you did enjoy this video, I would love if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it a lot. And I'm hoping to upload a lot in these next 2 weeks. I just finished my summer unit for uni, had the exam yesterday. So I'm going to try and post a lot of videos in these next 2 weeks before I start semester 1. And then when semester 1 starts, I do want to try and upload twice a week, get a video out, maybe picks for the fights, and then another video on something else. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as I said, like the video, go watch this fight. It's amazing. Subscribe to the channel, and have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one.